Time for prayer.
O worthy God, the preserver and protector of all, you are without beginning and without end, non-dual, beyond comparison, and none can measure you. You are without color, without expression, without form, and without attributes. You are unlimited and unfathomable, beyond imagination and conception, eternal and imperishable. You are indivisible, and none can see you but with eyes divine. You always were, you always are, and you always will be. You are everywhere, you are in everything, and you are also beyond everywhere and beyond everything. You are in the firmament and in the depths. You are manifest and unmanifest, on all planes and beyond all planes. You are in the three worlds and also beyond the three worlds. You are imperceptible and independent. You are the Creator, the Lord of Lords, the knower of all minds and hearts. You are omnipotent and omnipresent. You are knowledge infinite, power infinite, and bliss infinite. You are the ocean of knowledge, all-knowing, infinitely knowing, the knower of the past, the present, and the future, and you are knowledge itself. You are all-merciful and eternally benevolent. You are the soul of souls, the one with infinite attributes. You are the Trinity of truth, knowledge, and bliss. You are the source of truth, the ocean of love. You are the Ancient One, the highest of the high. You are Prabhu and Parameshwar. You are the Beyond God and the Beyond God also. You are Parabrahma, Allah, Ilahi, Yastan, Ahura Mazda, and God the Beloved. You are named Isa, the only one worthy of worship. We repent, O God, most merciful, for all our sins, for every thought that was false or unjust or unclean, for every word spoken that ought not to have been spoken, for every deed done that ought not to have been done. We repent for every deed and word and thought inspired by selfishness, and for every deed and word and thought inspired by hatred. We repent most specially for every lustful thought and every lustful action, for every lie, for all hypocrisy, for every promise given but not fulfilled, and for all slander and backbiting. Most especially also we repent for every action that has brought ruin to others, for every word and deed that has given others pain, and for every wish that pain should befall others. In your unbounded mercy, we ask you to forgive us, O God, for all these sins committed by us, and to forgive us for our constant failures to think and speak and act according to your will. Beloved God, help us all to love you more and more, and more and more, and still yet more, till we become worthy of union with you, and help us all to hold fast to Baba's Daman till the very end. Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai.
Namaste.
Jai Meher Baba, everyone. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon to everyone in all parts of the world. So, our today's session for EastWest Satsang is on stories and experiences that people would like to share, which is post our 1 hour of singing. So, we will begin our singing with Angela today.
All right, Jai Baba, welcome everyone. To everything turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. And a time for every purpose under heaven. A time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, a time to reap, a time to kill, time to heal, a time to love, a time to weep. To everything turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. And a time for every purpose under heaven. A time to build up, a time to break down, a time to dance, a time to mourn, a time to cast away stones, a time to gather stones together. a season, turn, 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 and a time for every purpose under heaven. A time to gain, a time to lose, a time to rend, a time to sow, a time of love, a time of hate, a time of peace. I swear it's not too late. To everything turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, 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 and a time for every purpose under heaven. Jai Baba.
मेरे दिल में चले आना, जीवन पर छा जाना, हर तेरी बरसाना, मुझे अपना बना लेना। मेरे दिल में चले आना, जीवन पर छा जाना, हर तेरी बरसाना, मुझे अपना बना लेना। तुम करुणा सागर हो, प्रीतम परमेश्वर हो। तुम करुणा सागर हो, प्रीतम परमेश्वर हो। सबके रखवारे हो, जीवन उजियारे हो। सबके रखवारे हो, जीवन उजियारे हो। भूले से भटक जाऊं, माया में उलझ जाऊं। भूले से भटक जाऊं, माया में उलझ जाऊं। मेरी बाह थाम कर ही, मेरी बाह थाम कर ही, सही राह दिखा देना। मेरे दिल में चले आना, जीवन पर छा जाना, मैं हर तेरी बरसाना, उसे अपना बना लेना। संसार में रह कर भी तुम्हें कब ना भुला पाऊं। संसार में रह कर भी तुम्हें कब ना भुला पाऊं। दामन को धरे राहूं, दुख से नहीं घबराऊं। दामन को धरे राहूं, दुख से नहीं घबराऊं। हो जाए स्थिति जो भी, मैं हर तेरी रख होगी। हो जाए स्थिति जो भी, मैं हर तेरी रख होगी। मधुसूदन चाहे यही, मधुसूदन चाहे यही, मेरी आन निभा लेना। मेरे दिल में चले आना, जीवन पर छा जाना, मैं हर तेरी बरसाना, मुझे अपना बना लेना, मुझे अपना बना लेना। अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय।
Good morning, good evening, Jai Baba to all. This is a song, poem written by Francis Bravazan called "The Journey," and the music was set to music by Irwin Luck. I know where I'm going. You may come along too, if your heart is knowing much, much more than you do. If you will never regret and remain staunch and true, if you'll keep the secret of what your heart tells you. We'll ride in our hearts, that's much faster than any plane, to ends of earth apart, yet where we are remain. We'll see streams in deserts flowing for many and many a mile, lovely flowers in dust growing because of someone's smile. The journey is a long one, from here to the most distant star, and it's finished right now. For love is where you are. You don't have to go any further to find your heart's bright cheer. For love is Meher Baba. He's not there, but here. And oh, he is so bonny, and oh, he is so fine. Who loves him not is a dreamer, and though has eyes is blind. He is so very bonny, so winsome, that one sigh of mine for him has broken my heart. Oh, I would die. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
बहुत प्यार करते हैं तुमको मेहर, बहुत प्यार करते हैं तुमको मेहर। प्रेम दिलों में जला दो मेहर, बहुत प्यार करते हैं तुमको मेहर। हमको पता क्या कहाँ जा रहे हैं, तुम्हें साथ अपने लिए जा रहे हैं। इधर है कहाँ जाना बता दो मेहर, बहुत प्यार करते हैं तुमको मेहर। तुम्हारी ही संगत, तुम्हारी ही खुशबू, कभी तो दिलों में धराया करो। तुम जलवा हमें दिखा दो मेहर, बहुत प्यार करते हैं तुमको मेहर, बहुत प्यार करते हैं तुमको मेहर। तुम्ही ने तो मुझको संभाला था कितना, चरणों में तेरे झुका शीश अपना। हाथों से पर्दा हटा दो मेहर, बहुत प्यार करते हैं तुमको मेहर। मुझे सब दीवाना समझता है बाबू, मेहर के बिना कैसे जीवन बिताऊं। गले से अपने लगा लो मेहर, बहुत प्यार करते हैं तुमको मेहर, प्रेम दिलों में जला दो मेहर, बहुत प्यार करते हैं तुमको मेहर। अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय।
Grab your coat and get your hat. Leave your worries on the doorstep. Just direct your feet to the sunny side of the street. Can't you hear that pitter pat? And that happy tune is your step. Life can be so sweet on the sunny side of the street. I used to walk in the shade with those blues on parade. But I'm not afraid. This rover has crossed over. If I never have a cent, I'll be rich as Rockefeller. Gold dust at my feet on the sunny side of the street. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba, everyone. I am the ocean where all has begun. I am the lovely sublime. I am the ocean where all finally come. I am the one beyond time. Yes, I am the one beyond time. For I am the one who made heaven and earth, planets and stars up above. I am the treasure of infinite worth. I am the ocean of love. I am the ocean of love. I am the ocean of limitless joy, infinite consciousness too. I am the music that never will call. I am the ocean in you. I am the ocean in you. For I am the one who made heaven and earth, planets and stars up above. I am the treasure of infinite worth. I am the ocean of love. I am the ocean of love. I am the ocean of unending peace, limitless yearning and sight. You from your chains that have come to reach into the ocean of light, into the ocean of light. For I am the one who made heaven and earth, planets and stars up above. I am the treasure of infinite worth. I am the ocean of love. I am the ocean of love. I am the ocean of unbroken calm, infinite bliss I am too. I have been called Jesus, Buddha and Ram, and now Meher Baba by you. And now Meher Baba by you. For I am the one who makes heaven and earth, planets and stars up above. I am the treasure of infinite worth. I am the ocean of love. I am the ocean of love. Drown in my ocean of love. Avatar Meher Baba ki jai.
This is a poem by Francis Brabazon. I dwell in dust and sing, and my song is most sweet. For although I lie prostrate, I do not entreat. I would not wish to be less than the seasons which wait their turn, nor than fire hidden in wood to burst into life and burn. My beloved spins the earth on the tip of one finger. Why should I cry for gifts? He will not forget his singer. They who ask God to fulfill their desires have no faith in him, for the essence of faith is to abide the beloved's whim. I hold out my cup for him to fill at his pleasure. Now or at world's end, it will be the same full measure. Waiting is easy for me. I spend 1,000,000 years as a stone, and then millions more shaping my ears to receive song's golden tone. Now my waiting is praising, and my praising is sweet. For although I lie prostrate, I do not entreat. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
I have this book, My Inner Life with Meher Baba. This book was written by Arlene Stearns. She passed away in 2011, and Donna Stewart transcribed some recordings that people really wanted to hear of her experiences. So after she passed, shortly after I moved to Myrtle Beach, so this book was then published, and it's very beautiful. This is called Meher's Message. Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai. Now, in 1989, when Meher passed away into Baba, I have to say, I didn't know about it right away. One day, I was in my kitchen doing my dishes and felt a presence. I turned around, and there Meher was standing. She was in a beautiful sari and was looking at me with that cute little smile that she always had. It's a real cute little smile. And she says to me, "Do not feel that you are ever, ever, ever separated from God. No one is separated from God, not ever. And know that there will not have to be any war when women come together and work together in harmony. In harmonizing their way of working, they will not have to send their sons, daughters, grandsons to war. There will be no more war. The peace and love of the family will come back. The women, it will take women to work together in harmony to have this come about. And someday this will be, and there will be no more war. Jai Meher Baba.
जय बाबा। तू है आसमां में, तेरी ये ज़मीं है, तू जो है तो सब कुछ है, ना कोई कमी है, तू ही दिल है, तू ही जहाँ भी है, तू खुशी है, आसरा भी है, तेरी चाहत जिंदगी है, तू मोहब्बत, तू आशिकी है, तू आशिकी है, तू आशिकी है, तू आशिकी है। प्यार में ही ढूंढते हैं, प्यार से ही पूजते हैं तुझे, प्यार में ही ढूंढते हैं, प्यार से ही पूजते हैं तुझे, तेरा चेहरा रोशनी है, तू मोहब्बत, तू आशिकी है, तू आशिकी है, तू आशिकी है। हर सफर में, हर नजर में, हर शहर में देखते हैं तुझे, हर सफर में, हर नजर में, हर सफर में देखते हैं तुझे, प्यार है तो तू वही है, तू मोहब्बत, तू आशिकी है, तू आशिकी है, तू आशिकी है, तू है आसमां में, तेरी ये ज़मीं है, तू जो है तो सब कुछ है, ना कोई कमी है, तू ही दिल है, तू ही जहाँ भी है, तो खुशी है, आसरा भी है, तेरी चाहत जिंदगी है, तू मोहब्बत, तू आशिकी है, तू आशिकी है, तू आशिकी है। अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय। थैंक यू बाबा।
Lovely, Kajal. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Roshni. Thank you. Jai Baba. Thank you, Baba.
We now have Michelle. Jai Baba, Michelle.
Jai Baba, good morning, good evening, happy Saturday. I have a really short poem and a song. This is a poem from by Phyllis Frederick. I just love her little short vignettes. You would not know the temple door if you saw it. It might be this empty shell on the beach, or a dry twig fallen done from the shriveled tree. You might not know the back door to the sun. Anyway, this is called Lotus Song. I have a couple Lotus references in the song. This is like a 1970s George Harrison deal, I guess. Baffled by the world around me, wondering why they don't see what I see. He gives me reason for living, and hey, that's not all that he gives. He brings me flowers, flowers, flowers of the lotus kind.
of the lotus kind. Hearts imbued with this ecstasy, seeking beyond the dream reality. And though its silence is taken deep inside, there's no mistake. He brings me flowers, flowers, flowers of the lotus kind. Oh, flowers, flowers, flowers of the lotus, flowers of the lotus kind. Yeah. Oh, it's not only about forgiveness. Doesn't matter if you witness. It's the kind of love you take home. It brings me flowers, flowers, flowers of the lotus kind. So I've reached the conclusion, I'm so lost in this illusion, tempered by mixed blessings, and oh how he just keeps me guessing with those flowers, flowers, flowers of the lotus kind. He brings me flowers, oh flowers, flowers of the lotus kind. Flowers of the lotus, flowers of lotus, flowers of the lotus kind. Oh, flowers of the lotus, flowers of the lotus, flowers of the lotus, flowers of the lotus kind. Yeah. Oh. Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai. Jai Meher Baba.
That was beautiful, Michelle. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Now we have Gail next.
Good morning, good evening. It's so special that Baba arranged for us to be together on Saturdays. It is our East-West gathering. It is our time to attend his darshan. We get to be together to sing and praise him, and I'm just so grateful that I have an opportunity, that we, Baba every day gives us opportunities to love him and to connect. I have just a short one from the Everything and the Nothing. I am the song. My unique experience of the beyond state is so unique that I simultaneously experience being everything and beyond everything. I am the song, its words and its melody, and I am the singer. I am the musical instruments and the players and the listeners. And on your level, I explain to you the meaning of what I, the singer, sing. Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai.
Jai Baba, everyone. I'm going to take a break from my Lord Meher readings because I came across something I thought was very touching. It's from the new book, My Life with Meher Baba by Meherwan Jaswala. So the story is that Erich and his sister Meheru both got married at the same time in 1945. And it all started in 1937 when Baba called Erich and Meheru and the rest of our family to Akbar Press in Ahmednagar, where, to Erich's great surprise, he was engaged to our cousin Khurshid, and Meheru got engaged to Khurshid's older brother, Savak. They were both the children of our maternal aunt, Shireen Masi. All this happened before we left Nagpur, and and moved into the ashram. Baba had garlanded the couples with his own hand at the engagement ceremony, and they had exchanged rings. Then in 1938, Baba called us to the ashram, and all talk of engagements and weddings was forgotten. The engagement hadn't been forgotten, however, by Jahangir Damania, who was Khurshid and Savak's father. He began to get agitated about his daughter being engaged for so long with no marriage date being finalized. And as a consequence, he started slandering Baba and Baba's people, and eventually his criticism reached Erich's ears. This uncle of mine also wrote a very nasty letter to Baba complaining about these things. As a result, Erich went to Baba while this mess was brewing and told him that he had to get married. Baba looked askance at Erich and asked, "What has gotten into you all of a sudden?" Erich replied, "Baba, it's simply that I don't like people saying all these bad things about you on my account, so please arrange my marriage." Baba says, "Why do you pay attention to such loose talk?" But in the end, Erich was adamant, and so Baba agreed. He said, "Please yourself, start the process." Calling for a calendar, Baba fixed the date for the weddings himself. On the appointed wedding date, Baba came to Akbar Press and stayed the whole day, remaining in an annex to the main building. Even when the wedding ceremony was being performed, Baba simply watched it from the window of that room. The wedding passed off very nicely. During the day, we'll skip that. In the evening, after the ceremony and the festivities, Baba asked Erich, "Who will be doing night watch for me tonight?" Up to that day, of course, Erich had been the night watchman, so he replied that he would be doing it as usual. "Aren't you married now?" Baba asked. "Won't you be staying with your wife?" Erich acknowledged that he was married, but insisted that he would be doing the night watch, and that made Baba very happy. But Baba inquired, "What about your wife?" Khurshid, the bride, was then called, and Baba said to her, "Look, this is what I asked Erich about the night watch, and this is what Erich said to me. What about you? What do you say?" "I am happy with whatever you wish, Baba." Baba said, "Is it all right if your Erich stays with me and does night watch?" Khurshid said, "Baba, he is not my Erich. He is your Erich. I am very happy with whatever you want." Then Baba said, "I am well pleased," and he gave her a morsel of food with his own hands. As they were about to depart, Baba called them back and asked Khurshid, "Would you give me something if I ask you?" "Of course, Baba," she replied. "Then give me Erich," Baba said. "Baba, I already said Erich is yours, so how can I give you something that is not mine?" Baba was most pleased with what she said and told them, "I would like you to live as brother and sister from today onwards. Will you be able to do that?" They both agreed, so that was, in effect, the end of Erich's marriage on the very day of the ceremony. Khurshid came to live with us, and Erich went back to being with Baba. Jai Baba.
This is one of the Kabir poems that I've been reading. A certain bird sits in this tree. The delight of life is where it dances. Nobody knows where the bird is, nor what all this music means. It makes a nest where the branches make the most darkness. It appears at dusk and disappears at dawn, and it never gives one hint of what all this means. Nobody talks to me about this singing bird. It has no color, nor is it free of color. It has no shape, no form, no boundaries. It sits in the shadow thrown by love. It lives in what cannot be reached, where time doesn't end, where dying things don't exist, and no one pays any attention to its coming or going. Kabir says, "You, brother, you, seeker, this whole thing is a great mystery. Tell all the wise men it would be a good thing to know where this bird spends the night." Jai Baba.
Okay. O priceless treasure of knowledge, you are within and without, and you are the ocean of mercy. You are in all the worlds. You are the ocean of attributes. O Meher, God incarnate, you alone exist. You are Yazdan, you are Izad, you are Allah and Ishwar. You are Ram and you are Buddha. You are beloved Lord Krishna, who with one finger lifted the mountains. You alone exist. You are the beyond God and the beyond God also. O ocean of kindness, you alone exist. You are Muhammad, you are perfection personified. You are knowledge itself, and you alone exist. You live in everyone, and you are everyone. Oh, beloved, you are the enlightened one, and you alone exist. You are with attributes and without attributes. You are the sole player in the divine game. You alone exist. You are matchless, the only one. You reside in every heart, and you alone exist. Jai Baba.
This is a Blue Horizon by Ward Parks. O Meher, since you stole my heart and fled across the sea, each thought of you is like a dart of blissful agony. You are more beautiful, Meher, than any I've set eyes on. When will I see you coming back across the blue horizon? Without you, desolate am I, and yet my bitter grief is redolent with your memory that brings my heart relief. You are more beautiful, Meher, than any I've set eyes on. When will I see you coming back across the blue horizon? O Meher, longing is my joy, and ruin is my pleasure. For in that house that you destroy is found love's perfect treasure. You are more beautiful, Meher, than any I've set eyes on. When will I see you coming back across the blue horizon? You are more beautiful, Meher, than any I've set eyes on. When will I see you coming back across the blue horizon? Jai Baba.
अब मन में हर ध्याओ, अब मन में हर ध्याओ, परमानंद परम सुख दाता, परमानंद परम सुख दाता, परम प्रेम से ध्याओगा, परम प्रेम से क्या होगा? अब मन में हर जाओ, अब मन में स्नेही जिनको बंधु परम स्नेही जिनको बंधु परम ज्ञानी और करुणातीत परम ज्ञानी और करुणातीत सकल चराचर के हितकारी वो हितकारी वो हितकारी सकल चराचर के हितकारी वो हितकारी वो हितकारी उन्हें भज के परम पद पाओ उन्हें भज के परम पद पाओ में हर जाओ अब मन में हर जाओ अब मन में काहे करत नित झूठ की पूजा काहे करत नित झूठ की पूजा जाने जन्म कई खोए भेजा जाने जन्म कई खोए भेजा मधुसूदन उठा श्वास न खो श्वास न खो श्वास न खो तुम नित्य मेहर जस गाओ तुम नित्य मेहर जस गाओ हर जाओ अब मन में हर जाओ अब मन में हर जाओ परमानंद परम सुख दाता परमानंद परम सुख दाता परम प्रेम से गाओ गाओ परम प्रेम से गाओ गाओ अब मन में हर जाओ अब बात है बाबा की जय।
Today we have our experience in story sharing. So if you have a Baba experience or story on how you came to Baba or any other experience concerning connected to your life and Baba or any other Baba story that you know about, anecdotes, incidents, then please share. Do a raise hand so we can ask one by one to do a sharing.
Jai Baba. So I saw Baba's picture in a Who book when I was a teenager, but I really didn't think anything of it. But then I met my husband in 1990, and he had that poster framed on the wall that says, well, we moved it to the other room, but it says, "Happiness lies in making other happy." And I'm sitting on the couch going, oh, that's really sweet. And now, after hearing Marvin's story about falling in love with Baba, I think I actually fell in love with Baba before I fell in love with him. No, I'm just kidding. And anyway, so I started having these dreams of Baba. He would come to me and I'd think, oh God, I had this dream of this. What is this? And one time I was sleeping, but it was like I had a vision. And I was in the Holy Land in my dream, and Jesus was walking on the water. And he was like this, just standing buoyant, and he was so beautiful. And I was up on a hill, it was like an olive grove, and there were people milling around. And I saw, and there were his eyes, black diamond eyes, so beautiful, emanating this power, bliss, overwhelming. But there was this music that I can't explain, this gorgeous music like playing on, And I walked down and I touched his sleeve and I asked a question which I was kind of embarrassed about. I asked, when are you going to come and fix the world? And he turned to me and he smiled, and then he was Meher Baba. And I was like, wow. And that was just one of many dreams and experiences. I could keep going. There was a thing with roses, yellow and pink roses. And a year later, after having that dream, well, maybe no, but then earlier that year, I had a dream where I was sitting in space again. I've had 3 space-like dream experiences with Meher Baba, and I was sitting in a circle, and a couple friends were there, Jordan Lone, Roberta Lewis, and some other people, and we were just hanging out, and I thought, oh, that's kind of unusual, and that was around Armatithi. And but then I had that other dream, and then that fall, I think my husband and I got married that fall in October, and my mom had, or a year later, and then my mom had passed in like April the prior year, in 91, and we got married in 92. And I wanted a yellow rose at the wedding for my mother, and it did not happen. And we went down to Meher Center, and we drove through the mountains, and we drove through the Smokies, and it was beautiful this fall. And we get there, and there's a pink rose on the table, which was really sweet, but next to Baba's picture and was a yellow rose in the bedroom. And this, we were also put in the lantern cabin. And so there was a picture of Baba and the Rolling Stone magazine and the Who. So definitely Baba was like, this is your connection here. And the yellow rose, I cried because I knew that was the only, no one knew about it. It was like Baba going, hey, I know who you are, and I've been following you for your life, and now you see me. And Jai Baba, that's kind of my story.
Jai Baba, thank you so much, Michelle. Thank you. Okay. All right. So I'll share something similar on the picture that Michelle just spoke about. So this little anecdote proves that, of what Baba has said, that unless and until he wishes his name to fall upon our ears or for us to come in his web of love, it won't happen even if you are right there under the nose. So I did see Baba's picture very early, sometime in mid-school life, in one of my friends' homes. But at that time, I thought it would be her grandfather or something. It was kind of a glance of every time going to a house. But usually Zoroastrians keep pictures of departed loved ones also at the altar, with Zarathustra's picture and the little oil lamp. So at that time, obviously, for me, it was that it is her grandfather, and definitely it did not have any thought process or impact as such. But years later, in 2010, when I got to know of Baba, the funny thing was that I stay 5 minutes away from the Bombay Center. I'm born and brought up 5 minutes away from the Bombay Center, but never ever knew about Baba. There was a very famous film theatre bang opposite the Navyug Mansion where Baba Center is, where I have possibly gone like 12 to 3, 3 to 6, 6 to 9 most of the weekends, but never ever knew of Baba. And just last week I came to know of somebody in Ahmednagar who lives there for 25 years but has not known about Baba. And this was such a beautiful thing, that how fortunate we are for his name to fall upon. And I had this funny thing in my head when I did get to know of Baba, that it is exactly like this analogy when we say that don't throw pearls to the monkeys. So till we are ready to, know of Baba as he wants us to, he keeps us away, in our own oblivious world. So, Jen Her Baba to that. We have Tina now who would like to share with us.
So I have a lot of stories I could tell. I'll pick one though. You might have heard this before, but years ago we had a place called Meher Baba House in Greenwich Village, and we had free coffee and donuts there, and we were open every night. And so there were some homeless people that heard about it, and they used to come in. And so one night, I didn't notice who was there, but I stood up in front of the group and I said, "Oh, I'm having a party Saturday, and everybody's invited." So Saturday came, and I arrived back at my apartment with some food for the party, and there was a homeless man sitting on my doorstep. "Where's the party?" And, I had invited him when I made that group announcement. So I didn't have any choice. I had to let him in. And so um, he asked me, "Well, can I help you? And, get ready for the party." So I said, "Well, here's some pretzels and potato chips. Put them in a bowl." And so I turned around, and when I turned back, had the pretzels and potato chips in one bowl, and he was mixing them with his filthy hands like a tossed salad. Um, anyway, I had this friend in my building, and she was a very cynical person. And she worked for Psychology Today, and she was an atheist, and she was just absolutely horrified at this guy. And she came to the party. She loaned me some things, dishes, and whatever. And so the next day, I went to her apartment to give the dishes back. And she was there with her very hip rocker boyfriend in his leather and his piercings. And he was, and she was telling him, "I went to her party last night, and there were these weird people there calling themselves Baba lovers. And one was a homeless person. And, they actually believe this guy, Meher Baba, is God." And he looked at her, he said, "He is God." And he pulled a picture of Baba out of his wallet. I was totally shocked. And then he started telling her he's the avatar. Well, years later, she broke up with that boyfriend. And unfortunately, she became very depressed. And she jumped out a window. And she landed on the roof of a market and got a real big hit on the head. And I think it must have done her some good, because when I visited her in the hospital, she's like, "I just want to pray. I just, I love God." And so who knows what Baba was doing in that situation, but she did come to believe in God after that. Jai Baba.
Yeah, so I'm telling something which is similar to what Roshni, same theme of the story. This happened in the mid 60s in Guru Prasad, and in fact before mid 60s. Once we were to go to see Baba in Guru Prasad from our house, from my grandfather's place, my mother's father, my maternal grandfather. And there was another guest in that house who was my mother's sister's mother-in-law. She was an elderly lady, and she came to know that we were going to see Meher Baba, and she told my mother that I also want to join in. And as you all know, to go and meet Baba and was always on invitation. Unless you were called, nobody could go and just enter into the room and meet Baba. So my father told my mother that, look, we cannot take her. But my mother was in a piquant situation because it was her elder sister's mother-in-law, and she could not tell no to her. And that lady was arguing that, well, Meher Baba is a saint, and to go to a saint, you don't need his permission. A saint would want anybody to come and see him. So that was her outlook on seeing Baba. So my mother could not refuse her, and then she joined in, and we come to Guru Prasad to see Baba, and we troop into the room. And after my father put my mother ahead, and my mother entered the room, and then this lady entered, and my father entered, and we trooped into the room. Then what happened was that Baba says, "Who is this lady?" And my father told my mother that, you explain now. You have brought her, so you have to open your mouth and tell who she is and how come she is here. So Baba said, how is it that she is here today? And then Baba was told that she wanted to come and see him and all that. And this lady was the grandmother of the owner of Lemon Tree Hotels now. You know, in India, we have Lemon Tree Hotels, which are quite famous. It's a chain of hotels. So the owner of that Lemon Tree, that man's grandmother, the story is about that lady. And Baba told my mother that you also go back and take her also back. Go back home. And both of them were sent back home because this lady had come without, invitation for meeting Baba. That was the story. And then what happened was, after about half an hour, Baba's telling my father that Girja Devi, my mother's name was Girja Devi, and Baba tells my father that Girja Devi loves me so much, and now that I have sent her back with that lady, she might commit suicide. These are Baba's words. And so I'll send my car, and you go and fetch Girja Devi back. Get your wife back, but don't bring that lady. Girja can come back. So my mother, the car was sent, and my mother was brought back to Guru Prasad. And she was happy, of course, to come back because she didn't want to miss being with Baba. So that's the story. And it's quite similar to what Roshni said, that she was living 5 minutes from the Bombay Center, but she had not heard of him. And here was a lady who heard of Baba, who came insisting that she wanted to come and see Baba. And she comes in, has a glimpse of Baba, and Baba sends her back. That was a little story I thought I will share. Now, there is something else also. Do you want me to share that?
Of course.
So this is also during that time, before 1965, I suppose, in Guru Prasad, there used to be some or the other American coming to see Baba. And once we happened to be sitting there, and somebody brought rings, some rings of Baba. And in fact, the ring was like this, that there was a hole in that ring. It was a heart-shaped ring to be worn on the finger. And there was a hole and a lens in that hole. And when you peeped through that little hole, you could see Meher Baba's picture inside. So that is what the ring was received there. A few rings were there. And I was sitting there and I said, I wish I could get the ring. And they had demonstrated that, look, everybody was shown around the ring that you can see Baba through that hole in the ring. So I was having a desire in my heart to get that ring. And Baba picked up one of the rings and gave it to me. That is one little thing that had happened. And something similar happened on another occasion. A box full of beautiful looking, expensive looking pens were brought for Baba and for people sitting there. And if I remember correctly, it was an ivory material pen, which half of it was made of ivory, and it was a triangular in shape so that you could hold it in your fingers properly. So when that was received, I also had a thought that if I can get one of those pens, because Baba started distributing those pens to those sitting there, and I said, and then I was given one of those pens. And I got that pen as well. But unfortunately, I never prized it so much. And I was a little boy, and then it was lost. I don't have these gifts from Baba now. Yeah, so these are the stories I thought I could share today.
Thank you so much, Raj uncle. Thank you so much.
Jai Baba.
Jai Baba. Jai Baba. So, since yesterday was Gandhi Jayanti, I was chatting with Meher Krupaji on something, and Meher Krupaji is here. She would share these little anecdotes about Gandhiji's meeting with Baba on the SS Rajputana ship. Meher Krupaji, are you there?
Jai Baba. Jai Baba, Roshni.
Jai Baba, Jai Baba. We can see
Can
you
you
and
hear me?
yes,
Okay,
perfect.
okay. Thank you, thank you. Jai Baba, Jai Baba. Avatar Meher Baba ki Jai. Thank you, Baba, and thank you, East West Gathering, Roshni and Angela, for giving this surprise opportunity to speak to. I'm sure many of you must be knowing about this. And I'm really happy that Raj, wouldn't say uncle because we are almost of the same age. Rajji has mentioned about the ring. I am still having that ring through which you can see. And we have those days where the plastic small photographs of Baba, which you can pendant like. And Baba had touched them, and still too I'm having. Anyway, so to sorry. Yesterday was a Jayanti of Lal Bahadur Shastri, India's Prime Minister then, and also Jayanti of Mahatma Gandhi. So first I'll tell one small incident about Shastri ji. So when Shastri, is it clear, Roshni ji? Voice is clear, no? Thank you. So when Shastri ji was about to leave for Moscow, Russia, for that Tashkent Karar agreement. And that time Bhau Kalchuri was near Baba. And as was Baba's habit, so see these things, no, before that I'll clear one thing. Those days, Rama, Krishna, Christ and all that, they fought on the battle and it was apparent. Whatever the avatar did for the universe was apparent. And we can see and we can hear. But this avatar is a unique avatar where the avatar has done so much, so World War or whatever, his acts and participation, all was behind the screen. You cannot see avatar directly participating in any of these things. But through these stories and these records, we know that Baba had done all this behind the screen. So when Shastri ji was about to leave, Baba said to Bhau Kalchuri, Bhau, why this old man is going to Russia? So much cold. He won't survive there. So Bhau Kalchuri is telling, Baba, please don't say, because he is the best man, he is the best prime minister for India, and India will be in loss a lot of, please don't say so. So Baba again repeating, oh, this old man will not survive there in that cold, bitter cold. And so then again Bhauji says, Baba, please don't say so. So Baba says, how's Indira? So Bhauji says, Indira is a small girl now. She was very young, Indira Gandhi. So Indira Gandhi is very young. And Baba, so then Baba says, like that Baba is telling to Bhauji. And then we all know that Shastri ji expired in Russia and all the further story. So this was one small incident. Then I'll come back to Gandhiji and Mahatma Gandhi, as is famous. Baba had predicted in 1922 that he will meet Gandhi, and they actually met in 1931. And there is a small story behind that also. So when first, as Gandhiji was also spiritually inclined, and he at that time heard about Upasni Maharaj. So when Gandhiji went to Upasni Maharaj with the aim of taking his darshan and seeing Upasni Maharaj. But as was Upasni Maharaj's nature, Upasni Maharaj was very Jalali type. As soon as he's done, he will throw the stone and he will make them run away, and he will not easily meet anyone who comes to see him. So he did the same way with Mahatma Gandhi. Upasni Maharaj used to have only gun sack around his waist. And so when Mahatma Gandhi went to see Upasni Maharaj, he hushed away Mahatma Gandhi and abused him and pelted stones, and he made him run away. So Gandhiji was so horrified, and he thought, oh, this is absolutely mad. He is a madman. So I don't want to go and bow down to him. And he returned. So later, when Mahatma Gandhi came to know about Meher Baba, and when he came to know that Meher Baba is, Upasni Maharaj is Meher Baba's guru or spiritual master, he said, oh, that madman, if that his guru is so mad, this Meher Baba must be mad. I don't want to go and meet Meher Baba. That is what Mahatma Gandhi said. And then Baba had sent him later, after a few years, Baba had sent him photograph and God Speaks. And then Mahatma Gandhi was told about Meher Baba. At that time, Desai was his, Mahadev Desai was his secretary, and he used to tell Mahatma Gandhi about Meher Baba. So finally, Mahatma Gandhi decided, okay, I will send someone to see whether he is a real spiritual master or something. So we'll see his ashram and then we'll decide. So he sent 3 persons from his side to see Baba's ashram. He himself didn't go. And as was Baba's style, see, I like this story very much. So I still remember there were rooms, small rooms beside the Samadhi. By the side of Samadhi, where now money aunties and all that is there. So that place, there were small rooms. I still have a glimpse and memory of those rooms. But anyway, those rooms were that time constructed with the aim of having meditation and all that. So when Baba came to know that 3 persons, I don't remember now their names, sorry. So these 3 persons are coming from Mahatma Gandhi's side to see our ashram. So what the Baba did, he selected 5-6 persons and he asked them that you have to sit in those meditation rooms which were by the side of Samadhi, and you have to, that time Samadhi was in the form of pit only. So, and you have to close, there were tin doors of tin for those small cabins. So they were instructed by Baba, you sit in those cabins and meditate. And even if the noise is made of tin door, don't open your eyes, but you have to sit in a meditation posture. And so 5-6 persons were made to sit in those cabins. The doors were closed. And when those, that name starts with K. Anyway, so when those people came to see, so they were shown the ashram. And as you common man have some picture, ashram means these things, this routine and all that, their mind. So then they were shown these rooms. The tin doors were opened and they were shown, those people were inside the single cabin. It was a single cabin. They were meditating inside. So they didn't open their eyes as was instructed by Baba. Even the door was banged. And so they were impressed and they went back and told Mahatma Gandhi, yes, ashram is its ritual and all that. There are different stories when Baba is playing cards and someone comes and Baba hits the card. So sometimes God also have to. So coming back to our story, I hope there is time, no, Roshni ji? I can
Yes,
continue?
5 more minutes. 5 more minutes. Yes.
Okay.
5-10 minutes. Then we have 2 more people to share. So.
Okay. So I'll come back directly to Rajputana. Later, when Baba was to go, and Baba actually had booked ticket for another ship. It was not originally Rajputana. And Mahatma Gandhi also was to go. And Baba then asked them to cancel that ticket, which originally was booked. And then Baba asked them to book, it happened all in Bombay. And Baba asked them to book for Rajputana. So everyone was telling that is what, but no one can know, no? And later it came to know that Mahatma Gandhi also was to travel by that Rajputana, and Mahatma, we all know that they met on Rajputana. And Rajputana almost, it is somewhere I read or heard that almost daily for half an hour, Mahatma Gandhi and Baba used to meet. Mahatma Gandhi used to go in Baba's cabin and they used to be there for half an hour. So anyway, at that time, Baba asked Mahatma Gandhi, do you want to ask something from me? So Mahatma Gandhi said, give liberation to my nation. So Baba was very pleased. So a common man, if we ask what you want, that person asks something for self or for the family. But here, see the person, he is asking for the nation. And Baba said, okay, granted. And so then Baba said that after this liberation, once your work is over, you promise me that you will leave politics, you will abandon politics, and you will join me. And Mahatma Gandhi had given that promise to Baba that once the work is over, he will abandon politics and he will, but as we see that he has not kept his promise. But that part apart, that about Baba's silence, Mahatma Gandhi said, I also observe silence once in a week. And but he said that your hats off to your silence. Mahatma Gandhi said to Baba, and your silence is so profound. And he said, even the dirt of your nails, I cannot even this. Meher Baba is a great person, Mahatma Gandhi said. If he wants, he can make sun to rise in west and set in east. Like this was the statement Mahatma Gandhi said. And Baba also used to praise Mahatma Gandhi a lot, telling that he is a great soul. And Baba also told that during this liquor, he had worked, Mahatma Gandhi had a movement against liquor, and also so many other movements, non-violence. So Baba said that due to this non-violence movement, so many Indians were killed at that time mercilessly. And due to this liquor movement also, though it's a very good job done, work done by Mahatma Gandhi, he has incurred some sanskaras out of this also. Though there are good sanskar, as well as suppose a liquor shop is closed. So whatever bad effects to the workers who are working in that shop or the shop owner, so those bad sanskaras also accumulated. And that through non-violence movement who are killed without their fault, those bad sanskaras. So Mahatma Gandhi has incurred all those bad sanskaras. But when he is killed by Nathuram Godse, all those bad sanskaras has gone to Nathuram Godse. See, if the soul is good, how God takes care. So that time Baba said that Mahatma Gandhi will have to take 2 more births, and then third birth he will get God realization or mukti, something like that. So here I'll stop now. Others are waiting. Thank you so much. Thank you, Roshni. Jai Baba Avtar. Meher Baba ki Jai. Jai Baba. Jai Baba.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Mary.
Well, I wanted to tell a story, a personal story, because I never met Baba. But I in the 80s, I was trying to have a baby. I was having no luck. And I went through various fertility treatments, my husband and I, and nothing was working. Somebody said, well, why don't you go to the Mayhair Center and just relax and try to forget about all this and turn it over to Baba. So that's what we did. And while we were there, someone, I would guess it was Jane Brown, she said, have you ever met Lynn Ott? And I said, no, I've heard about him, but I've never met him. And she said, well, he has a really nice studio over there. He and his wife, Phyllis, are both artists. Why don't you go over and look at some of the paintings? So we did. My husband and I both went over there, and we were looking around the studio. Phyllis was showing us various paintings, and so I was very drawn to this one painting. And I said, how much is that painting? And Phyllis said, oh, that's one of our most expensive. That's $500. And which, I don't know how much that is in rupees, but it's a lot. Um, and I didn't have $500, and I'd never met the Otts, but I said, I'd really like that painting. Would you trust me to send you $500 later? I don't know exactly how we worked it out. And they were like, of course. And so Phyllis was wrapping the painting up. And Lynn, who was blind by then, he said, what painting did she buy? And Phyllis said, Baba with Child, and that was the night I got pregnant. Jai Baba.
So, Aaron, my son says, you forgot O Pavarti Gar. So I had this Who book. I've had this forever. I got this like when I was 16 or something. And that was a long time ago. So this book would open to this song. And I would, O Pavarti Gar, and I would go, I read the first line, Oh Parvanjor, I don't know that song. And I would just close the book and find, like, we're not going to take it or whatever. But Baba's picture is in here somewhere and his story. But this book was creased every day. I swear, anytime I would open it, and I would say, oh, I don't know that song. But I guess I know that song now. Jai Baba. That was kind of Oh Parvanjor. Anyway, that's the end of my story. And there's more. Of course, we all have huge Baba stories, but
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
they know Baba.
Thank you, Michelle. Thank you so much. So, here, I'll just read this little bit out. On 8 September 31, when Baba met Gandhiji on the SS Rajputana ship, Gandhiji went with his secretary Mahadev Desai to meet Baba. And he told Baba that I have read much about you and wanted to see you one day when God willed it. But I never expected it to be so soon. And then through the next days also, as Meher Kripaji was saying, they did meet. Now, out of that, we also know that Baba shared some pages of the manuscript of the secret book that Baba was writing and gave it to Gandhiji to read it. Now, there was one quote that I read about Gandhiji remarking about concerning his activities to Baba, where he says, whatever I do, I take upon myself the responsibility for it, though in the end, internally, I leave everything to God. I cannot shirk my responsibility. Except for God, it is my conviction that I cannot disavow my responsibility. And when I read this, it just gave me, of how everything about our life subtly is connected. And Baba does his work so beautifully and magically. And then the six-pointed discourse of my wish, the first one is, do not shirk your responsibilities. So, Baba's hand and Baba's nazar was there on obviously everything, but more so ever with Gandhiji coming up with that quote right there when talking to Baba was a beautiful connect that I just discovered yesterday while I was preparing for a speech. So, yeah, beautiful.
Yeah, hi. So I have innumerable stories and experiences with Baba. I will actually share the last one. We were supposed to go to Australia for the ladies' sahvas over there. And with a lot of enthusiasm and a lot of preparations, we worked on this, worked on the tickets over there for Australia, and everything was done. Like, we were ready, our bags were packed, the things were done, and then the lockdown happened. Our tickets were for the 22nd, and the whole lockdown happened on the 20th. So we were like shell shocked. We didn't know what to do. And the funny thing is, we were going to go on the 20th, on the day of the lockdown. But somewhere some things happened, the tickets got postponed and we couldn't go. And just as well, because if we would have gone, we were three of us. Actually, Kilnani ji was also there, Raj Kilnani's brother. So all of us were going to go, and together with Pramila ji, and somehow the tickets just didn't get confirmed for the 20th. It got confirmed for the 22nd, and once the lockdown happened, we were like in a fix. We didn't know what to do, and there was the tickets to Australia are not very cheap. And finally, the way that Baba worked it was that just before we left, the lockdown happened, and it was announced that all the airlines had to refund their tickets. So, a lot of people I know who were traveling in and around that time, none of them got refunds. They just got those tickets with the credit for 1 year. While the three of us, Vinod Kilnani ji, myself and Pramila ji, we got the entire refund. We got everything. I mean, he had worked out the timing so perfectly that it is unbelievable. And if we would have gone on the 20th, I think we would be stuck there for 3 months, and we just wouldn't know what to do. How would we have got back? Where would we have stayed? And there was a line of things, leaving family behind. And I mean, I cannot even thank Baba enough for all those little mercies and miracles that he does for us. Some we see, some we don't see. And this is just a short share because we don't have much time, but whenever we have time, I'd actually prepared to talk something out of this book, maybe next time. It is B. Kumar's book, where he's written, I have 4 such volumes and keep reading them. And I was going to share something about the musts, but the next time we'll do it. I also wanted to sing Achyutam Keshavam on the Dafli, but the next time. Thank you so much. I don't know how to thank Baba, because everybody else got credits on their tickets valid for 1 year, while the three of us got all our monies back in everything, the insurance, the stay. People in Australia, they returned our money because the stay was there and everything was there. And I mean, it was just his blessing that 20th was a lockdown, and the government declared that every airline had to refund the money. So we got our refunds. Thank you, Jai Baba.
Jai Baba to all of you all. Thanks, Roshni. Thank you very much. Writing, I just want to share a small thing that I remember once I had been to Mehrabad, MPR, and I and Jennifer, my wife, both of us were walking towards the Samadhi, and I was just singing a song, a romantic song, walking by in the morning, such a lovely place. And those were the early times when I used to go to Mehrabad. Of course, after that, I've been so many times to Mehrabad. But that day, I was just singing a romantic song. I don't even remember which song it was. And there was this Sardarji gentleman. Everybody must be knowing. He is always there in Mehrabad. I don't remember his name. And he heard me sing. He was coming from behind, and he told me that Sandeep, you sing well, though I don't. But he said that you sing well. Why don't you sing for Mer Baba or write a song for Mer Baba? I took it very lightly. I told, okay, God's grace, I will write when Mer Baba will me to write. So years passed. I forgot that. And then I wrote a song for Shirdi Sai Baba. And the CD, first we took it to Shirdi, released the CD, and then we went to Mehrabad. I offered the CD to Mer Baba at the Samadhi, and that was it. And then something came through me. Was it a dream? I don't know. Was it a will of Mer Baba? I don't know. But I just remember one thing about it is just said, when you're writing for me. Now I won't say that was it a dream or was it a thought, but this was what came, that when are you writing for me? And that was the day I started writing a lot of songs for Mer Baba and composing the song.
Sure. I found it out about Baba when I was working at a publishing company one of the we were a bunch of young hippies really working in a company. There were near Stanford University. There were a lot of Stanford students, and one of the girls, Kathy Wiederholt, had learned a Baba from a Sufi friend, and she came and told us that about this master who was silent, and it was 1968 that I learned about Baba, and so she was very we loved her. She was very had a wonderful energy about her, and so I remember we had a silence day, and she said that she had to keep silence that day. So we all did. We all wrote notes back and forth, and it was kind of a game. And I don't know. She was oh gosh, and then she was going to go off to the Great Darshan. This was 68. So and that was really exciting that she would do this. I remember I stitched a dress, a pink dress. It said a pink Baba dress for Kathy, and oh my goodness! And on the day that we were all kind of struggling young people, so it was a big deal to come up with the money to go. And I think there was there was a kind of a last payment that she needed to make to go to this darshan, and she didn't have it. And so this another friend of ours, Laurel Keeley, she said she was so sort of worked up about the fact that her friend wasn't going to be able to go, that she went home and she found her income tax return, and it was just enough that she could go and give Kathy the money, and off Kathy ran to San Francisco and paid her, and she did go. She went to the Great Darshan.
Okay. This is a letter from Guru Prasad Baba's letter, one of the many letters that we were lucky to receive. So this is Guru Prasad Pune, 5th June 68, written by Arti, of course. Okay, so now this one is a very nice little thing. Beloved Baba's message is spreading by leaps and bounds in many parts of the globe. The more he keeps himself aloof from us, the deeper he bores into the heart of humanity. It seems the world is almost prepared now for the return of the God-man. Man's feverish search for happiness lands him into greater suffering. Man's frantic call for peace is answered with wars and chaos. Man's greater efforts and longer strides towards progress lead him on and on to confront greater and more serious problems and to still greater efforts to solve those. Man seems to be almost covered from all sides by himself. The only way out for him is to get rid of himself with the help of grace of the God-man. The need of the hour is the return of the God-man. And the God-man who has returned and is amongst us at this very hour waits patiently for man to return to him. What a divine gain. Well, no amount of our philosophizing helps one bit to reduce our present suffering. What is needed is not reduction, but redemption. May the Redeemer begin his divine operation soon. I thought it nice little letter to share. Jai Baba.
This is a song written by the Avatar himself. A ghazal, actually. If everyone has heard about Ishtiyae Shauq, Jab Had Se Siwa Ho Jayega. This is a talk between the seeker and the divine soul. What the seeker and the divine soul, that is the Avatar talk, written by the Avatar himself. I'll just, because Meher Baba used to sing this song also, and I will just try to sing this song. It is very close to my heart. इश्तियाक़े शौक़ जब हद से सिवा हो जाएगा, इश्तियाक़े शौक़ जब हद से सिवा हो जाएगा, सामने आँखों के वो जल आनुमा हो जाएगा, इश्तियाक़े शौक़ जब हद। क्या कहूँ मैं दिल खुदी को, कर तू क्या हो जाएगा, क्या कहूँ मैं दिल खुदी को, कर तू क्या हो जाएगा, वास्ते हक होगा बंदे, बेखुदा हो जाएगा, वास्ते हक होगा बंदे, बेखुदा हो जाएगा, इश्तियाक़े शौक़ जब हद से सिवा हो जाएगा, सामने आँखों के वो जल मानुमा हो जाएगा, इश्तियाक़े शौक़ जब हद। कानों में आकर वो कह गए थे मुझे पर्दे की बात, कानों में आकर वो कह गए थे मुझे पर्दे की बात, मैं तेरा हो जाऊंगा जब तू मेरा हो जाएगा, मैं तेरा हो जाऊंगा जब तू मेरा हो जाएगा। इश्किया के शौक जब हद से सिवा हो जाएगा, सामने आंखों के वो जल पानुमा हो जाएगा। इश्किया के शौक जब हद। अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय।
मेहर बाबा, 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 मेहर बाबा।
अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय।
glorious, eternal, ancient one. Your face is a bright, transcendental sun. Lighten this dark world and the tears I weep. My heart, meher, I give to you to keep. Creator, yet creationless you are. Truth and truth's body, divine avatar. Through compassion the three worlds maintain. Destroy this ignorance that life sustains. These five lights are the whirling strokes of breath of the world's wheel that bears me unto death. Unless you are infinitely kind, break the wheels of which is conditioned mind. This incense is my love, these fruits my art, which to please you I have shaped from my heart. Accept them as you would a simple flower that has no use beyond its shining hour. You are myself, I sing to you in praise, and beg your love to bear me through the day. Till you, the ever-living perfect one, illume my darkness with your shining sun.
Avatar Meher Baba ki Jai. We'll have 1 minute of silence. अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय। अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय। अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय।